Welcome, everyone, to our class today, where you will learn common questions and answers you can use at home. And you can use these every single day. So let's start with your kitchen. And of course, related to food. I'm sure you spend a lot of time in this area of your house. I know I sure do. So, a very common question: what are we having for dinner? Are you the one usually asking the question, or are you the one usually answering the question? I'm the one answering the question most of the time. What are we having for dinner? What are we having for dinner? Can you think of another way you could ask this question? Because there are many different ways. So feel free, share it in the comments, and I'll let you know if it's correct and natural. And instead of dinner, you can change it with whatever meal. What are we having for breakfast, lunch, dinner? And then you can say, I'm making. So that focuses on, of course, the preparation. If you want to use the exact language from the question, you could say, we're having. We're having. And notice the question and the answer are in the present continuous because it's a planned future event. I'm making chicken and rice tonight. So, what about you? What are you making or what are you having for your next meal? You can share that in the comments as well. What's for dinner tonight? Yes, excellent job. Just get that contraction. What's for dinner tonight? What's for dinner tonight? Very nice. What's the menu for lunch, mom? You could use that. You can use that in a more jokey way, or if it's a special occasion and you are having more of a menu, we don't use that in an everyday context, but I like it, definitely. What's the menu for lunch, mom? Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay, our next one. Maybe you ask this in the morning, afternoon, or evening. Hmm. Is there any coffee left? Is there any coffee left? Notice the importance here. Left. Left represents remaining. So in this case, there was coffee, but you don't know the amount of coffee. So you're asking, is there any coffee left? And then the reply, yeah, there's still some in the pot. In the pot, because we make coffee in a pot in North America. There are many ways you can brew coffee, but in North America, it's very common to make it in a pot. So in the pot, the coffee pot. But you don't have to say coffee pot. That would sound unnatural. So yeah, there's still some in the pot. You could also just say, yeah, there's still some left. There's still some left. So at the beginner stage, you can always look to the question to get clues on how to answer. When you're more advanced, you can form your answer in different ways. You don't have to use the same language as the question. Okay, Hidaki had mashed potatoes for supper. Very nice. What are we cooking for lunch? Very nice. It sounds like you're involved. So you are also going to be cooking. That's my cooking motion, apparently. Don't you, although technically it means remaining sounds too formal. Just use left. Remaining does not sound natural. Uh, we've run out of coffee. We have none left. You can use that. Run out is usually when the total amount of coffee is completely gone. If you can simply make more coffee because you have more beans, I wouldn't use that. But if there's no more coffee beans and it's not possible for you to make more coffee, then you could use that. Greetings all the way to Spain. Is there any coffee left? Sorry. Had the rest this morning. Exactly. Very nice. Let's keep going. Okay, this is related to this one. So you're asking, should I put on a new pot? Should I put on a new pot? Put on a new pot means, should I make more coffee? So sometimes native speakers will just have a completely different way of saying a common thing. The common way of saying this is, should I make more coffee? A native alternative is, should I put on a new pot? So pot represents pot of coffee. And then someone can reply and either say yes or no. If you want to say yes, there are many different ways you can say that. That's a good idea. Go for it. Sure, I'll have some. Yeah, I'll have another cup. So there's lots of different ways. I'm a coffee person. Seriously does not belong where you have it. Just, I'm a coffee person. You could put seriously at the beginning or end if you wanted. Oh, is there any sugar left? I need to bake a cake. Exactly. Very nice. Should I put on a new pot? Exactly. Why not? Go for it. Love it. How about here? Do you want me to heat that up? Heat that up. So to heat something up simply means to heat it. Now, to heat that up, that would represent, it could be coffee, it could be another beverage. Of course, it could be food as well. Do you want me to heat that up? So heat something up, make it hotter. So usually this would be done in a microwave, but of course it could be done in an oven as well. Sure, that'd be great. That'd be great. And notice my pronunciation of that would in spoken English will naturally form the connection. That'd be great. Sure, that'd be great. Yeah, I like this. Go ahead. Go ahead. Instead of it would be nice, I would say that. That would be nice. That'd be nice. Sure, go ahead. That'd be nice. Or sure, go ahead. I'd appreciate that. Yeah, it could be to heat up a cup of coffee that's just been sitting there for a while and you just put it in the microwave for a few seconds. But this could be anything. It could be a plate of food, whatever you want. Maybe you ask, are these leftovers still good? Are these leftovers still good? So you have some leftovers in the fridge. Now, leftovers, notice this is a noun. And as a noun, it represents food that you previously had. And some of that food is still there. So it's left over. And then you can eat it again the next day or the next day. But if it's from 3 days ago, maybe you take it out of the fridge and you look at it and you smell it. Are these leftovers still good? And then you say, I think so, but smell them first. Smell them first. So, because usually you can tell if it's spoiled. So, if it doesn't smell good, then don't eat it because it might be spoiled. A native speaker would commonly say, gone bad. Oh, the leftovers have gone bad. Or simply bad. These leftovers are bad. These leftovers are bad. Yeah, exactly. So with sense, instead of it smelling, just use the present simple. It smells. No, it smells very bad. Throw it away. Throw it away. Are you enjoying this lesson? Do you want to learn more natural ways to ask and answer questions? If you do, put yes, 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 yes in the comments below. And of course, like this lesson and subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson and also every time I go live so you can join me as well. And I have this free speaking guide for you. In this guide, I share my best tips and advice to help you speak English fluently and confidently. I tell you exactly what you do to get started and the order that you should do things as well. So you can find the link in the description, or you can just go to my website, jforrestenglish.com. And if you want to keep learning real English the way native speakers use the language, and if you want to sound fluent because you're also using real English, well, then join my program, the Finally Fluent Academy. This is where you'll have the training, the guidance, and the support that you need to reach your fluency goals. And you'll see amazing results in 90 days, and we'll keep working together as well. Thank you so much for your support, as always, Ariel. And let's keep going. Uh-oh. Looking for things. Does this happen to you? So, what's an item that you commonly have to look for? Now, notice the preposition. You look for something. A lot of my students forget that preposition. You look for something. All right, so what's a common item that you look for? Yes. Hit that like button. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your support. I'm so glad you're enjoying the lesson. Woohoo. Okay. Yeah, you could also say it's rotten. Oh, these leftovers are rotten. It smells awful. Exactly. Very nicely done. Okay. Thank you so much for your support as well. So, what's something that you look for? Maybe your phone. Do you frequently lose your phone, but lose it temporarily? You know it's somewhere in the house, but you can still use lose if you don't know where it is right now, even though you know it's somewhere. So, have you seen? Have you seen? And then the item, the thing, my phone. So, have you seen? It's in the present perfect. Okay. Because it's still possible for you to see it. So, it's an unfinished timeline. And that's why it's in the present perfect. Where's my pen? Have you seen my pen? Exactly. If you use did you see my phone? It has to be a completed time reference. So maybe it's, did you see my phone when you were in the laundry room? So you're no longer in the laundry room. So in that case, you could use the past simple to represent that you being in the laundry room is a completed action. But if you don't have that completed action in mind, then use the present perfect. Have you seen? Have you seen? Car keys. Yes, exactly. That's definitely one. Have you seen my phone? Have you seen my keys? And then hopefully you know the answer and you can say, yeah, it's charging in the bedroom. That's where you always leave your phone. It's charging in the bedroom. So you can just add more information. Of course, you can just say it's in the bedroom, but then I added the verb. What is it doing? Now, maybe that isn't always applicable. With car keys, generally, they don't do anything. So you wouldn't use an action there. Have you seen my key card? Absolutely. That would be a very common thing to lose. Have you seen my charger? That's my next one because that's one I frequently lose. Have you seen my charger? And then maybe the person says, yeah, I borrowed it earlier. So you didn't lose it, someone took it. So that's why it's not where you're expecting it to be. I borrowed it earlier. It's on my desk. Now, why did I use borrow? Imagining I'm talking to my husband or my roommate or a family member. Have you seen my charger? So, even in the same household, it's still, this is my phone. So, if you want to use it, you could ask. And then borrow means to temporarily use. So, if my husband takes my charger for a period of time, but then he returns it to me later, I borrowed it earlier. But in this case, clearly he didn't ask, which is fine. But you can still use the word borrow to represent that. You could also just say, I used it earlier. That's fine as well. I borrowed it earlier. I used it earlier. It's on my desk. Yeah, I put it away in the drawer. Exactly. So I do this all the time to my husband because he leaves his items around the house and I like things very organized. So I often take his items and put them in places, but then he doesn't know where they are. So he often has to ask me, have you seen my, or he knows. So he's like, where did you put my? Because he knows I will put things away. I took it earlier. Yeah, exactly. Very nice. You can use took. I would probably say I used it earlier, but took is grammatically correct and I understand what you mean. Have you seen my wallet? Exactly. How about this? Oh, look at that. A common thing people lose. Now, maybe you're just, where did I put my wallet? And maybe you're not actually asking the person, you're just vocalizing it as you're searching for something. Where did I put my wallet? And maybe you could ask someone, where did I put my wallet? And then the person replies, check by the front door. I saw it there earlier. So notice this is in the past simple. I saw it there because the time reference is a completed past action. So earlier when I was getting a package or when I was locking the door or unlocking the door, or when I was walking by, whatever it is. So check by the front door. And notice this is in the imperative because I'm giving this as an instruction. Check by the front door. By means in the general area of. Check by the front door. I saw it there earlier. So maybe you have a storage area by the front door or a closet by the front door. Yeah, check your handbag. Exactly. Exactly. Let's keep going. Oh, do you frequently lose the remote? Hmm. Do you know where the remote is? So you can ask someone directly, maybe as you're looking, do you know? Do you know where? Do you know where the remote is? And of course, remote is remote control that functions the TV most likely. There are other remotes that you could use before the TV. Do you know where the remote is? The remote. Do you know where the remote is? It's probably between the couch cushions. So between is you have the couch cushions and then it's there. So between. Does that happen to you commonly where the remote falls between the couch cushions? Yeah, exactly. Remote control for your TV. Exactly.